What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video. Today, on this Saturday before the Jets take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I want to talk about really the only way the Jets can upset the Buccaneers this week in week number 3. I picked the Buccaneers to win this game. The Bucs are 6.5-point favorites at home. It's their home opener. They're 2-0. The Jets are staring 0-3 in the face. Look, did I pick the Jets to win this week? No. Do I want to see them win this week? Of course I do. And some fans are, with the Jets staring 0-3 in the face, already calling this a must-win game to save their season. It might be unlikely, but I wanted to go through the ways that the Jets can beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What has to go right for them in this game to beat Tampa? The first thing you'll notice is the Bucs offensive line is banged up to all hell right now. They are down 3 starters on the line. So what does that mean? Quinnen Williams and Will McDonald, the Jets' 2 best pass rushing defensive linemen, need to have big games. Both guys played excellent against Pittsburgh in week 1. Quinnen Williams, that was the best he's looked in a long time. Will McDonald, 2 sacks. I believe he had 3 pressures in the game. You need those guys to play at the top of their game. Now, Buffalo is a tough opponent, as we know. They are a Super Bowl favorite, but they have a really strong offensive line. The Bucs, that's an issue for them right now when you're down, Tristan Wirfs, and you lose your center, and you lose your right guard, and it just kind of goes on and on and on from there. So they need to get pressure on Baker Mayfield. He's a dangerous passer, as we know. But Houston kind of showed last week in week 2 that if you could limit the offense, they still got 20 points. They allowed 20 points. But if the Jets, that would be a massive improvement if the Jets hold with the Tampa Bay Bucs to 20 points this week. And you have to get pressure on Baker Mayfield to do that, because if he has all day to throw back there, based on how the defense has looked so far, you would think you'd be able to pick apart the Jets defense. And which kind of gets me into my next bullet point here on how the Jets need to upset, or what they need to happen in order to upset the Tampa Bay Bucs. It's time for the defense to step up, man. They have looked really disappointing through the first 2 weeks of the year. Jamien Sherwood needs to play like 2024 Jamien Sherwood when he took over for CJ Mosley. He has not looked good at all after cashing in on a big contract extension for the New York Jets through 2 games. He's looked slow. He's been out of place, blown assignments, trying to spy Josh Allen last week. Just did not go well at all for Jamien Sherwood. Michael Carter, if he plays this week, he's banged up, but assuming if he plays, he needs to play like the Carter of a few years ago. He was one of the best slot corners in the NFL over the last few years, was hurt most of last year, and then this year has gotten off to a dreadful start. Brandon Stevens can't be a traffic cone out there. He's got to give you something. Can the safety play improve? There are a ton of eyeballs on Steve Wilks this week. It's time for his unit to step the F up, because if not, the eyeballs are only going to, there's only going to be more pressure on him and calls for Aaron Glenn to take over the defensive play call. So it really feels like it's now or never for Steve Wilks. Another one's don't be afraid to take chances. Take a deep shot down the field. Arian Smith or Garrett Wilson. Arian Smith, that's why the Jets drafted him. He has incredible speed in college. Most of his big plays were deep down the field. Garrett Wilson, not known as a burner, but can you take a shot to one of those 2 guys? Tyrod loves the deep ball, and he still has one of the prettiest deep balls in the NFL. Take a shot early. You got to back the defense off. They have to respect the pass for you to establish the run. So first play of the game, take a deep shot down the field. Even if it doesn't hit, right? Even if it's, incomplete pass, 2nd and 10, you now show to the defense, hey, we're willing to take these shots. You can't just put 8-9 guys in the box and stop the run. We will try to throw the ball down the field, and we can connect on one of those. So you got to give them a reason to respect the pass. Unfortunately, with how Justin Fields played in week 2, there was no reason for the Buffalo Bills to respect the pass in that game. And that was part of a big reason. First drive of the game, 3rd down. I've talked about this play a bunch, but Justin Fields misses a wide open Garrett Wilson for a big play. That changes the game if they hit it. Not saying that they would have won, but that big 25, 30-yard throw down the field, pitch and catch from Garrett to for Justin Fields to Garrett, makes a defense go, oh shit, like we can't just, in Buffalo's sake, blitz our corners and stop the run on first down, because that's what they're going to do every time. It makes them back off, which will then open up the run game a little bit more for them. All right, guys, my sleeper picks for this week. I have Mayfield more than 1.5 passing touchdowns. I think he gets 2 passing touchdowns this week. Garrett more than 50 receiving yards. Even in a down game in week 2, he did that. And I have Bucky Irving, more than 50 rushing yards. Those are my 3 picks from Sleeper in this game. Pick more or less from the predicted stats, and you could win up to 1,000 times your money if your picks win on Sleeper. Use code O'Leary, and you'll get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Less Allen Lazard. He was horrible in week 2 in his debut. More, whether that's Arian Smith, the tight ends involved in the passing game, the backs involved in the passing game. Get Breece Hall, 4 catches in this game. Throw it to Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis. Get them involved. Maybe this is the week Mason Taylor has 4 or 5 catches. Maybe this is the week Arian Smith has 3 catches. But I don't think Allen Lazard being out there gives you anything. Even, the calling card for him at this point was, oh, he's a good blocker. He could give you some input there. His blocking attempts were absolutely horrendous in week 2. Last note for me, don't go full conservative coaching. Essentially, don't go a Jets version of Todd Bowles. Last week was a prime example. Kicking a field goal down 20, settling for a 50-plus yard field goal down 20 on 4th down. Punting on 4th and 1 in the 3rd quarter, down big. Play to win the game. Don't play not to lose. There's a difference between the two. Playing to win is realizing, hey, I'm essentially a 7-point touchdown road dog this week. The only way that I'm going to win is we have to do something in this game to flip the script. I can't go Robert Saleh race to 20 and expect to win this game. I can't go full, and I know Glenn doesn't like being called a defensive coach because now he's a head coach. He's not a defensive coordinator anymore. The trope with defensive coordinators or defensive coaches who make the jump to head coach is that they rely too much on their defense and they get way too conservative. In week 1, they went for it on 4th down multiple times. They went for 2. It didn't work, but they went for 2 in a situation after a penalty when the ball was on the 1-yard line. Stay aggressive in this game. If you do that and you hit on all these things, then you have a chance to win this week. If the defense is gonna stink again, you're going to allow Baker Mayfield to throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. You're not going to establish, any threat deep down the field. You're going to settle for field goals. That's a recipe to lose this game 28-17. But if you do these things, maybe you steal an upset win, and now you have a chance to get your season at 2-2 against the Miami team that looks like they're reeling right now at 0-3. So again, you got to take care of business first this week. Can't look ahead on the schedule. But these are the things that I think the Jets need to do. And it's a lot of things that have to go right. But if the Jets hit on these things, I think they can win this game. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm Matt O'Leary. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you next time.